All right, so we've got another video here from Rev says Desu about Hasan ruining his life. I have to see what this is about.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So over the past month, I have said this many times, but it's simply the truth. Every time there is a major event in the world these days, the reaction to it trickles down into places we normally talk about on this channel, like the gaming industry and content creators, and that's happening again with a recent shooting, where now
I mean, we've already seen that with things like the Sucker Punch Studio, Ghost of Yote. Yeah, there's a big, giant, crazy assassination. The people who are celebrating it, yeah, guess what? Some of those people are going to be in industries like movies, like video games, like TV, like comic books. And if they're saying lunatic, crazy stuff, you're going to see it. And you're going to go, okay, do I want to play this game that this person was a part of? Do I want to support them and their work? Ghost of Yote? No, I'm good.
Gaming is being nefariously pulled into the situation, and also content creators like Hasan are having very bizarre reactions to what's going on with that situation, also things stemming from it. Now, as you can see here, this article is one of many, trying to tie a recent shooting to violent video games. We have seen this argument over and over again for decades, and I swear it gets more and more pathetic.
It's so old, man. It's so ridiculous.
Each time it happens. Now, what is the context? Well, recently a sniper opened fire at a Dallas ICE facility, and in his own notes, he wanted to stoke fear across all ICE agents, and this 29-year-old sniper, whose name I believe is pronounced Stupid Idiots.
There you go.
He saw
Correct.
a unmarked van enter the facility, and he believed in his mind it was filled with ICE agents. The reality, though, was that it was filled with detainees. So in this guy's pursuit of punishing ICE agents, he opened fire on a van and ended up killing a bunch of one migrant. He killed one migrant and wounded two others and hit absolutely zero ICE agents. And I guess either part of his plan or coming upon the real...
I believe that is the case, although I'm kind of... Let me double check here. 3 people were shot still. I just want to double check. Critical injuries of 2 others. And they did, well, they haven't recovered, obviously, but they didn't die from it.
Realization of his failure,
wasn't sure.
He then took the rifle, turned it on himself, and rearranged his skull, so to speak. And that was that. And there's been a lot of discussion and questions from people like Hasan Piker, who's like, we'll never know the reason this guy did it. We don't know anything about his...
We would have no clue. It's not like, you know, maybe wrote her on the bullets, had an entire manifesto, a televised, recorded statement of exactly why he did it. We'll have no clue. I mean, you know, that's probably all just, you know, I don't know. That stuff just happens naturally, right? Like, hey, I hate ICE and I'm left wing written on the bullets. Stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows what that could mean?
His politics or his viewpoints, despite the fact that when you take a 2-second look into this guy's life, he had pro-communist profile pictures on his social media accounts.
Could be anything.
He also wrote anti-ICE on one of the unspent cartridges he left behind at the shooting. Yeah, I guess we'll never know what this guy was thinking when he was trying to do this act. And as you can see, anti-ICE was written here, which, ironically enough, was the name of a benefit from a few months ago that, as you can see, among the panelists, #1 on there is Hasan Piker, which I think is very...
Just because the words are the same and the sentiment is the same and the ideas behind the sentiment is the same and the political side is the same, and this person has said things like killing people, letting, you know, their blood run on the streets and all of these types of things, showing off, you know, guns. They're just airsoft guns. It doesn't even matter. Just because all of those things are the same doesn't mean there's any connection. Yeah, I completely, right? It's just, it's coincidental. It's just totally correlational evidence Correlation does not mean causation. That's true. Eventually, though, you'd go, well, it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, genetically exactly the same as a duck. I think you'd be forgiven for thinking without any more evidence that it's a duck.
Very ironic. And to make things even more ironic, here is a small snippet of what he said at that benefit.
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. So I think that people are a lot more radical now. This is an unprecedented time to really get others on board, to explain to them that it's not your neighbors, it's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis.
You know, it's your neighbors, your bosses are fucking you over, town owners are fucking you over.
And I think this is a unique opportunity. You get even Devers and Barbas on board with that, like White Wymons. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think, in these unprecedentedly horrible times.
Yeah, this is the guy who recently has been really hammering away that he's so against political violence of all forms, but then again, his actions completely defy him, and that's just one of many, many different examples. And it's just crazy to be someone like this who has so many examples of violent rhetoric and also, you know, participating in a benefit that literally is called anti-ICE. It's just very ironic to see.
Especially after all of the, like, actual violence against ICE. Like, it's not like you're surprised. It's not like this is the first time somebody's opened fire on an ICE facility or, like, tried to blow it up or any of these types of things. This is not new. This has been happening for, you know, a while. And, you know, again, just so happens that the people that are doing it happen to all coincide with one specific side, and that one side is putting forth a very specific kind of rhetoric towards ICE, and you'd go, well, I mean, they're not directly encouraging them to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, you know, they keep saying it, and people who are unhinged keep taking it a certain way and then do certain things with it. I mean, at a point you'd go, maybe I am influencing the political situation be more violent. Maybe. You might think that.
And, well, as I pointed out earlier, places like the New York Post and many other individuals are trying to make a connection between the shooters playing of violent video games to the actions he took at the ICE facility. And I think this is just, again, so pathetic. This has been something people have been trying for decades.
Yo, why are you doing this, New York Post? How stupid are you? This is old. Are you that strapped for news that you have to just make this shit up? Like, I mean, everybody plays video games now. How old is the person who wrote this article? Are they like 70 years old? They don't understand that everybody plays video games now. And I mean, again, Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Rust, this guy's a normie, okay? This guy's a straight up normie.
And it's gonna fail just like all the previous ones. There is no evidence to support that. In fact, if you want evidence that it doesn't impact real life, look at this guy's Steam account.
Yeah.
He played, 7,000 hours on Rust, and he couldn't hit a single target. That alone is proof that video games do not influence violent actions in real life. But of course, this would get hit with a note, which is awesome. Everything like this should get hit with a note with plenty of sources.
Thank you.
That probably don't surprise you with their messages, where they're saying there's absolutely no proof of a connection between violent video games and committing violence in real life. In fact, they point out in this article that the U.S. Supreme Court addressed this and came to the conclusion back in 2011 that no psychological study making the claim that violent video games cause violence in real life had any evidence to back up those claims. And as always,
Very true. I've done the research myself. It's completely pathetic, the amount of studies that have come out for this, because people still, for some reason, will make this claim. It's like, dude, you're buried under a mountain of research. If this was true, if even one study had shown any remotely statistically significant correlation between these things, you would have heard about it all day long. Even if that study was like immediately retried and immediately debunked, you still would be hearing about that study. It would be the most famous study ever done in psychology, or at least the last like 50 years. Okay, the fact that there isn't one, and there have been so many attempts to do it, it's very clear that this is bullshit.
always, the people who are affected by the media that they consume, whether it's video games, movies, whatever, the people get affected by that are mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
It's really that simple, but people try to twist this into something to push their own agenda. And here's just one last little graph that really just makes it very clear, comparing video game revenue to violent gun deaths. Now, of course, it's not so black and white. It has to do with like availability of guns as well. But as you can see, places like South Korea versus the U.S. I mean, yeah, the claim about violent video games causing violence in real life, it's so tiresome and ridiculous. But things are continuing to escalate because in wake of the recent shooting on the ICE facility, people are now protesting and going to ICE facilities and causing more issues. And it's been made very clear that this is going to be a zero tolerance policy from our government, and that there are going to be federal agents and troops going to facilities around the country. And it's going to make things a lot more, let's just say, interesting. And people are losing their minds. This was from just yesterday.
Again, I'm like, I think they're remembering what it was like under the Biden era, where you could just do this, you could just go crazy, you could, firebomb some government facility, you just be like, let go the same day. And it's like, yeah, man, don't you remember? Wasn't it so much fun where we could just like go crazy and, riot and all this? I mean, we just like didn't get punished for it. Wasn't that so cool? Wasn't it so awesome when we were able to do all that kind of stuff? And yeah, it ain't that way anymore. It ain't that way no more. People are sick of it. People are done. It's not a good look. It was never a good look. And people have made their decision on this. They're like, yeah, illegal immigration, now it's affecting normal people now, all over the country. This is why, again, all swing states went to Trump. Why do you think that is? It's because they've been affected by the Biden immigration and economic policies. And they went, yeah, we're done with it. We're good. Not anymore. So you coming out here, LARPing, wearing your chin diapers, hilarious again. It's the MAGA hat of the left. I love it. And it's just like, you're done. Like, you're not putting a good display of yourself on the news. This is not a good look for you.
This is a bunch of rioters blocking ICE agents as they're trying to go outside of their facility. Every single one of these people should be arrested. I mean, look at this person slapping on this window. What are they trying to do? You trying to smash into this window and kill this guy? You're like, banging your fist on the car. Again, obviously you're doing it for, pretend. You're doing this to play pretend. But if anything bad were to actually happen, like this person smacks on the thing, and let's say like 3 people all smack their hands on the window at the exact same time. One of them's wearing a ring, so there's like there's a point of contact that like transfers that force into the window, and the window smashes in, and some guy who's sitting on the other thing gets cut by a shard of glass that comes in from the window. You're going to prison like forever. All right.
Like, you do not want to be associated with this stuff.
What are we doing? Am I missing something? Trying to interfere with a federal agent?
Yeah.
Pushing their car? Very, very crazy stuff. And it gets even worse when you start diving into some of the people who are doing this. This guy, I really, for his sake, hope it's parody, released a video saying he applied to become an ICE agent with the sort of intention of feeding the information he sees at work to migrants.
What's up, guys? I just applied to be an ICE agent, and my plan is that any information I get on ICE raids, I'm going to report back to the Mexican community and, you know, just try to help you guys out. Also, every time a Mexican gets deported, I'm sneaking 2 Mexicans back into the United States. I'm just here to help. That's my plan. I will update you guys along the way. Thank you.
People are really...
Thanks, dude. Thanks. I mean, like, in all honesty, keep making these posts, dude. Keep making these posts. We love to see them. They are pushing... Like, you're single-handedly converting, like, 20 people that would vote Democrat into independent or Republican voters, where they go, oh, I don't want to be associated with this person. You're gonna like make more. We didn't need more illegal immigration, and you want to facilitate that. What side are you on? I'm on the opposite side.
Just filming themselves doing just about anything these days, and it's really again, I hope this guy's joking, because what he just...
I mean, he's definitely joking that he would actually deport, you know, okay, if I deport one person, I'm going to sneak 2 people. No, there's no way that's going to happen. That's way too much work. He's not going to do that. But, you know, he's going to report to the Mexican community. Like, I mean, he would put out a tweet like, hey, I just raided blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think he would do that, because it's like, it's very lazy. That doesn't take any like real commitment or hard work. So I think he would do that.
Expressed might have been a felony just from the application process itself, but if he does actually follow through on this somehow,
maybe
that is a whole lot of felonies he is racking up in his attempts to virtue signal on the internet. Like, this guy sounds like the biggest white savior you'll ever see in your life. But this reflects generally the insanity we've seen over the past couple of months. As you can see pointed out here, the number of assaults on ICE officers has exceeded 1,000%. They have gone up 1,000% in the last couple of months, because people think it's okay to do these things because they're not facing punishment, or they're seeing people spread violent rhetoric to them and encouraging them to do these things. There is real effects to people spreading violent rhetoric on the internet. And of course, well, someone's out there to basically tone down what's going on and to downplay what's happening over the past couple of months.
To just give some receipts for what you're saying. So there have been 9 notable anti-ICE or anti-CBP attacks, acts of violence during President Trump's second term. And just last week, violent protests, and this is the video after the scroll that I wanted to show. Just last week, violent protests broke out at an Illinois...
Look at this. Look at this. They're like, oh, violent incidents, okay? And some of them are violent. And then others are literally just like attacks by rocks and sticks.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, and apparently words also are worth killing over.
That's crazy.
Yeah, during the various ICE protests that were happening back in the summer when there was big raids going on in California, there were a lot of these protests, and a lot of them had people throwing rocks and cinder blocks at cars. And Hasan should know. He was there. He was in the road, which is a crime, by the way. He was there, and now he's trying to downplay some of the action, saying, oh, they were just throwing rocks and sticks. There were hundreds of protesters throwing head-sized rocks, even cinder blocks and bricks at ICE agents, whether it's in their cars or while they're trying to do their job. I'm sorry, throwing a brick at someone's head or their car, that's a pretty big deal. That can kill someone. And he's just like, yeah, they threw some rocks and sticks. like, you know, like a little tree branch or
Again, like, I mean, these are the kinds of things where you go, you've never actually interacted with just like the legal system in general, because you can easily go to jail for like serious stuff, for like pranks. Like there were a number of cases of like, hey, somebody has like a senior year prank where they buy donuts for their teachers and they'll put laxatives in the donuts or something like that, you know, in the coffee, whatever, something like that. That got a lot of those seniors like involved with police for poisoning people, because unless you're unaware, uh, anything can kill people if they're in a bad spot. So you throw a stick, I don't care what kind of like stick it is, even if like you throw it very poorly and it's a tiny itty bitty like willowy soft stick, the wrong way, it's gonna maim or kill somebody. All right. It's super unlikely that it's going to happen, but the fact that you threw it and this is the result means that you did kill somebody. So throwing a rock, a cinder block, any of these types of things is, you're culpable for horrible eventualities. Even if you didn't mean to, even if you just like, oh, I hope I like crack a window. That'd be cool. I'm LARPing as a revolutionary. I'm going to smash a window. Again, things go a little bit wrong. Things go really wrong, and you're not the only person in the world. It's going to affect other people.
something. No. People are going absolutely insane. He's trying to downplay the violence. And yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. And he's also, of course, making himself the ultimate victim. He's, I guess, getting a little nervous. He's saying that he's going to end up in a camp. And also, it's going to be the Democrats' fault. So he's basically saying it's everyone's fault at this point.
Reason why, even though Donald Trump is very unpopular,
he's not.
The Democrats are even less popular, is because of this reality. They've like shied away from addressing any of the needs of their fucking base or anyone that's in the margins, by the way, which is a much larger percentage anyway. It's a plurality. Oh. We're all going to go to fucking concentration camps, and the Democrats are going to be like, well, it wouldn't have happened if you voted for us harder.
I think I know another reason why Hasan's getting a little bit nervous. Recently, there was an executive order signed by Donald Trump that designated Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, and he is now on a mission to dismantle Antifa, including providing troops to do so. And Hasan's reaction to this is very interesting. What did he mean by this? So he finds out that Antifa is now designated as a domestic terrorist organization, and he says, I don't think the liberal media is aware of how bad things will get for all of us? Why did you hear that news and get really nervous? Because a normal person doesn't hear this and go, uh-oh, this is going to get real bad for us. Well, then again, he also has an affinity for Antifa, a violent organization, now a domestic terrorist organization.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why this one specifically gets him all worried. I mean, he's very happy supporting foreign terrorist organizations on Twitch all the time. And I mean, he's seen no backlash for it. So, I mean, I don't know why this got him worried. Was he just like, spazzing out that day? I don't know.
A couple years ago, arguing with a now suspended account saying, homie, I did a 3-hour broadcast on why Antifa is extremely good. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Ooh. Is anyone surprised? And the replies to this are hilarious. Yeah, this is not a very good look. And also, things are escalating, and it's going to be a very interesting couple of days and weeks. Like I said, troops are being sent out to protect ICE facilities, including those in Portland, which is like the Antifa headquarters. That place is an absolute mess, by the way. I have no idea how things got that bad in that city for years now, but there's going to be troops already. Actually, there are troops already rolling into the city. But you can see the trickle down of all of this You know, it begins with something as brazen and disgusting as the shooting, and then you have reactions all across the board, people trying to blame gaming on the violence, and then you see content creators giving their spin, and it just really shows a lot of the hypocrisy of people trying to shift blame or try to even just outright lie about motives and things to protect their own agenda. It's going to be, like I said, a very interesting time, and I think there's going to be a lot of finding out for people who have been evading consequences and been doing things that are crazy and breaking the law.
And again, I think that's why they're out there doing this ICE stuff. It's like, you know, you did it for years. There were not any massive consequences for you. Yeah, why wouldn't you think, I've done things 100 times before, nothing bad happened. Why on the 101st time would all of a sudden things bad happen to me?
Because they've been encouraged to do so online. They've been surrounded by radicals online, and they never fear consequences. Well, let's see what happens in the future here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
All right, I will second all of that. Let me know what you think about this. I will say the New York Post, what are you doing? Come on, for real? Those are my final thoughts on this. Why are you connecting this to video games? Do you not know anything? What boomer editor wrote that article? It was ridiculous. Good luck in all your endeavors. Thanks very much for your time and attention. I'll say farewell for now.